Hey guys, how's it going? So it's been a while since I've made a video, and I thought I would kind of respond to some of the comments that I have on my Diablo controller video that I came out with a long time ago. Some people will ask, how can I download it? But the thing is, it is downloadable, it's usable, but I don't think anyone would really want to use it in its current state. Any code that I changed within the project was marked with the comment Jake, just so that way I knew what I changed. And so even here for like the help.cpp file, the main menu, whatever. I mean, the biggest file that was added was player controls, and that's a pretty lengthy file. And it basically detected items nearby, stuff that like the PlayStation 1 version did. So basically I played the PlayStation version quite a lot when I was younger and thought, well, how could I take what's in that and put it into something on the computer? So I just kind of played around with it and kind of noticed like items would highlight when they're nearby, signifying that they could be picked up, stuff like that. So I just kind of took those ideas and put them into what you see up here. So I'll show you some of the code. So player controls, biggest file, has, like I said, a lot of just detecting monsters nearby, items nearby, stuff like that. But anyways, I uploaded the source code, as you know, here. And gosh, how far back do I need to go? Okay. So, and this was about 5 years ago. So what happened was I made the DirectX version, which is Devolution, or the original Devolution was built in DirectX. And so I made the controller code in DirectX. At that time, not too long after, this is about 5 years ago, Modern Vintage Gamer, MVG, converted my code to OpenGL and created a fork of Devolution, Devolution X, I believe, put it in OpenGL controller code, same code that I had here. He copy-pasted it, converted it to OpenGL, and then the Devolution X community then copied that code, put it into the project proper, because he didn't create like a fork. I think he like downloaded the source code, changed it, and then uploaded it as his own. So then Devolution X had to go in there to get it to put it back into the main project or whatever. It was very weird. So if you want to use the controller code, I would not use the fork that I created here. It is older DirectX code. It is Diablo vanilla. That's it. And I created some graphics, like the layout here for the newer, like I wanted the movements to be WASD, and then like everything nearby, kind of like a modern game, right? You'd have stuff like, use first health potion slot or whatever, use first mana potion. I kind of made it like, again, Diablo on PlayStation, right? Space bar to attack monsters nearby. I was trying to make it like, again, modern games, modern action RPG games would typically have this kind of layout to it. So that's how I kind of made it. And then I added the controller and all the layouts for it and stuff like that. So, and then some explanation of the different functions and how to compile it, stuff like that. So that's what ended up in, again, if you want to use this, just download Devolution X. It's in there now. And this is kind of just archived. I would just call this archived code, basically. And it's just sitting here just to show the changes that I made to the main source code. Again, download Devolution X. So hopefully that helps you guys understand that. And then after that, this is about, 4 years ago? Okay, so 4 years ago. 4 years. So that'd be 2 years after this code that I created to put a controller into Diablo 1. Then I created another project 2 years later where you could create a controller modification, sort of. It obviously, the games that I'm supporting here, StarCraft 1, 2, WarCraft 2, WarCraft 3, are not really open source like Devolution is. This is more obviously closed sourced, properly released and copyrighted software and all that type of stuff. So this is a standalone piece of software that translates controller code to keyboard keys, basically. And also it has an overlay that lays on top of the game. And so this is my newer project, essentially. And my first release was in DirectX, but then later on was ported over. Then I sort of updated it kind of recently, 2 weeks ago, over to like kind of OpenGL, but really it uses Raylib and stuff like that to do the overlay, to do the controller code and stuff like that. So then you can use more controllers than just the Xbox controller. You can use PlayStation 4 or 5 controllers, 3 controller, whatever. You can use it basically anything. And then also support for WarCraft 2 Remastered after that came out. It requires the game to have grid layout and to be in some kind of windowed mode. So that way it allows the overlay to be on top of it. So, because otherwise, when a game becomes full screen proper, it's going to be on top of everything then. So it's just a sort of like a positioning issue, a positioning index issue. And so, yeah. And then also I made a setup file and stuff like that. So I just made it a lot more approachable for all users and not just people who have Xbox controllers. You know. So yeah, and then I did have video out, obviously, that shows this being completely used. There's so many use cases for controllers, right? If you don't have a controller for a system like, let's say, like the GPD Win, right? Or you don't, or for, let's say, if you remote into your computer, you won't be able to play it on your Switch or your iPad or something like that, right? If you don't have a controller, then you can't play these games at all. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's weird. Blizzard is now putting controller support into their more newer games, like Diablo 4 has it properly. Diablo 3 does, but only if it's like a console version, not the computer version. The computer version doesn't have it for whatever reason. I don't know why they can't just add it. Like, I mean, seriously, Blizzard, if you hired me, I would immediately add controller support in all of your games, because it doesn't make sense to not have it. You just need it no matter what, because there's so many different devices that we can use it on. It would be so incredibly helpful. You know, especially, like I said, with the Switch having Moonlight support or the iPad having Moonlight or Steam Remote Play, you'd be able to play it on your TV then or something like that, you know? So anyways, that was my aim, was so you could play these games on all devices that can remote into your computer that don't have keyboards for them or mice. And so, yeah. And I need to do a little bit more. I need a GUI graphic to show keyboard and mouse support like this over here to show changes that I made or whatever. But yeah, there's a demo video, and this video will kind of more talk about how these controller changes really make it playable on systems like the Nintendo Switch or your GPD Win devices that, again, are not really made for keyboard and mouse support. They're really more made for that controller support. Or even the Steam Deck, you know, it's silly that their games don't have controller support. Yeah, so anyways, that's what this project is more about, is bringing controller support to StarCraft games, the older games, WarCraft 2, WarCraft Remastered, WarCraft 3, and stuff like that. And the newer modifications that I've made, the newer releases, make it more approachable for lots of different types of controllers and, lots of different types of window sizes and stuff like that. And I've made huge improvements to the project. And, so hopefully I'll have a lot more open source projects to show you on GitHub in the near future. But yeah, that's what I've been mostly up to nowadays, is working on some fun open source projects. Thanks for watching.